love the animation. Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video we're going to be going over a 2022 Chevy Silverado 1500 RST, and this is the redesigned version of the Silverado, not the limited. First and foremost though, a huge shout out and thank you to the Lurch Miller Chevy here in Provo for giving me some time with this Silverado. Check out their inventory in the description down below. They have this one available for sale, and they have several more that are currently in transit if you're interested. And then on a side note, I just released my car buying course, so if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to that in the description down below. Let's get into the video. So under the hood, we have a naturally aspirated 5.3 liter V8 that goes through a 10-speed automatic transmission. It's good for 14 around town and then 19 on the highway from a fuel economy standpoint. And then power outputs are 355 horsepower and then 383 pound-feet of torque. So let's go over the front end of the Silverado. So first off, you notice here with the center portion, it's kind of raised, and then on either side, it's also raised. It kind of like divots down though. Definitely a unique look. Looks pretty muscular too. I don't know, I like it. Anyways, you can see here we've got the projector bulbs with the LED accent light. Now this does do a little show when you walk away from the truck. It's pretty cool, where this is also kind of like integrated with the turn signal, where it'll just kind of like do orange throughout. It'll just do like a little orange loop. I don't know, it's pretty cool, and it kind of adds to the theme and fun of the truck. And then you notice here with the accenting off to the side, and then notice how we've got this, which is white, and then blacked out down below. We've got the blacked out Chevy bow tie as well. Tow hooks there on the front end, and then it's blacked out below that. And overall, I feel like pictures just don't do this justice. Video doesn't either. It looks a lot better in person than it does in pictures or video. Now coming on the side here, we've got two 75mm tires wrapped around 20-inch wheels in the front and over in the rear as well. And you'll notice here with the wheels, we've got the silver there that kind of outlines everything with the metallic gray in the center. Now this one has a Z71 package, and that's why you've got the aggressive all-terrain tires. And then you can kind of see the suspension setup here with the front end. We have our Z71 badge right here. Notice the mirror is blacked out, and then notice we do have the keyless entry here on the door handle for the front. And then taking a few steps back, here's your side profile on the Silverado, which looks identical to the previous Silverado, so that hasn't really changed all that much. And then popping here to the rear, still have leaf springs here in the back, and then you can see the off-road shock right there. So here's our key fob. We have our unlock, lock, remote start, and then the drop down for the tailgate. We have a payload capacity of 1,785 pounds and then a towing capacity of 9,200 pounds with this specific truck. Now, you notice here we've got the LED lights on either side, and we have a full outlet here in the bed. Spray and liner as well, which makes cleanup and all that fun stuff a little bit easier. You don't have to worry about scraping paint. And then I love the appearance of the cargo light there at the top, and notice that this is also protected. Now I don't think this has the auto raise function. Nope, so you just have to pick it up yourself, but it's super light. Now finishing things up here in the rear, we've got the Chevrolet logo, RST badge down below, and then the Silverado badge. And then notice we've got the bumper steps on either side with the squished exhaust coverings, right, is what people like to call it. Receiver hitch as well, and there you go. Let's go over the door panel here in the rear. Notice we've got a really cool design here on the trim there at the top, and it kind of like fizzles out and just goes to normal almost. I don't know, I like that. Anyways, look at the padding down below, so much better than the previous version. Don't worry, I'll have a comparison video with the limited version versus this in the very near future, so you guys can see the exact differences with both the trucks. But yeah, definitely looks nice. The double stack design is what we'll call it. And then here are the seats. This particular one has cloth seats. So you can see that whole setup. You can lift up the seat. You got flat loading floor underneath. Nice grab handle to help with getting in and out. Look at that, so much space. And then you can see here with the vents and charging ports and all that fun stuff down below. And yeah, let's head to the front. Now here's the door panel at the front. You can see again with the trim, and then look how that goes into like the door handle area. You've got your door lock and unlock, and then here's a quick look at the mirrors, their whole setup. And then again, you can see here with the double stack design down below, and again, the padding just looks and feels really nice. All of our window controls right here with the mirror adjustments. And then here's a quick look at the front seats. You can see the cloth trim down below. And then you've got your adjustments there on the side of the seat. Also, look at the shape of the speaker. Kind of interesting. Z71 floor mats. then you can see the pedals down below there. And then we've got our light controls right here with the cargo light, drive line select over here. Notice that this has auto as well as 4-wheel high. Got the parking brake right there. And well, let's pop in. So here's the steering wheel in the Silverado. You've got soft touch all around, and then notice the darker stitching there on the center portion. Voice command, phone controls, all that fun stuff, controls for the center stack. Heated steering wheel button, cruise control. So this is all gonna look similar to before. And then we still have radio controls there on the back of the steering wheel. They feel a little bit different though than before. I mean, look at them. Yeah, look a little bit different. Anyways, turn signal, windshield wiper stock. We still have a column shifter, and you can see you've got the plus and minus to shift through the gears yourself with that 10-speed automatic. There's the steering wheel setup. Now here is the center gauge cluster. It's a full digital gauge cluster, which is pretty cool. We're gonna start with the tow haul mode, which you can press. Notice that it shows it towing a trailer, pretty cool animation. And then we have the other drive modes. So notice we've got a sport mode, which shows a little like racing flag underneath. And we have our off-road mode as well, which shows the Silverado on some dirt. And yeah, that's everything for the drive modes. Now, as for the rest of the menus here in the center, you can scroll through to see different bits of information on the truck. This is super similar to before. The main difference with this is the animations just look better, and obviously it's on a bigger screen. But a lot of the functionality is pretty much the same as what you had before with the Silverado. Now here is the infotainment system. First off, we're going to pop it into reverse. You've got a backup camera with trajectory lines that do turn with the steering wheel. And then notice you can do trailer line. So if you are hooking up to a trailer, makes that easier. Resolution on the camera is solid on top of that. And then notice here with, well, I pressed the Google button by accident, so stuff's going to pop up. Anyways, Google Assistant, still have Android Auto, still have Apple CarPlay. Notice response time on the screen is fantastic. Like this is as good as what you get on an iPhone. So yeah, really good from that perspective. And then notice you can open up Google Maps as well. And overall, I feel like this infotainment system is pretty straightforward to use. It's got the shortcut buttons here on the side. Notice trailer light test, which you can do. So yeah, I don't really have anything negative to say about it. And I feel like it's nicely integrated here into the dash. There's some storage space at the top of it too. So yeah, Chevy's nailing it. So we have some analog controls. So this is actually, it's like double down because you have the home button there and then you have, like, look at this. Okay. Like you have two home buttons right next to each other. It's kind of funny. And then we've got a bunch of controls here. So we've got the lane departure, auto stop start. This is dropped on the tailgate, hazard lights, stability control, and then hill descent control. And then notice again more of that wood trim, the silver trim right there. Engine stop start, we got the trailer brake control, and then we do have dual zone climate controls, which we're gonna pop it down to low. Heated seats, which in normal Chevy fashion, you can do the back or the butt and the back. You have a choice. A couple of USBs, they're off to the side. And then notice here with the floor covering situation, this particular one has the bench seat configuration. So you can see how that setup is. I believe there is under seat storage. Yeah, there you go. So pretty practical. And then notice here, with the glove box, like look how funny that is with how it pops up. I love it though. But notice really nice from a material standpoint for this, you know, level of truck. And notice that padding continues here onto the dash to kind of just bring up the interior. And then finishing things up top, we don't have a lot happening. We don't have a sunroof. The rear window is fixed in this particular truck as well. We do have a mirror dimmer. And the last thing I want to mention is I can't seem to figure this out, but when I first started up the truck, it did a really cool animation, and I'm gonna try to get it to do it again. So I'm gonna close the door. So you have like the Z71 thing that pops on, but it did this really cool like swooping animation and everything, and I can't seem to get, it just like pops right on. I can't seem to figure out how to get it to turn on again. But if you guys know, let me know, because it looks pretty cool. So here's our window sticker, and you know that you're looking at a new body style because it won't have LTD in the name. But anyways, you can see here, notice it says crew cab, short bed, 4-wheel drive. I love how they like list this out on the window sticker so that you know exactly what you're looking at. But you can see all the standard equipment here with the truck. And you can see the base price there, $51,800. And this one has a few things added to it, like the Z71 that gives you those upgraded shocks, the skid plates, and you know, everything else that you can see right there. Feel free to read it. And got a few other options on top that this has the All-Star package. $56,230 for the total MSRP. And let's see how it drives. Let's talk about visibility before we set off. There's your visibility of the hood, both of the mirrors, and then throughout the rest of the rear. And let's set off. So setting off here in the new Silverado. So this, you know, it's kind of like your middle of the line package, which I think is great because this is the package that most people are probably going to go for with the new Silverado, because it's the, you know, affordable everyday man's Silverado, right? Unlike the crazy expensive ZR2 that is coming in the near future. But let's actually talk about how this drives. And what I can tell you so far is it feels very similar to the limited version of the Silverado from a driving dynamic perspective. Yeah, it seems like most of the changes with the Silverado have gone into updating the gauge cluster, the infotainment system, and then certain elements within the interior, which I'm completely okay with because the driving dynamics of the Silverado were never bad. It's a smooth, comfortable truck, and noise insulation is very minimal. Seat comfort's good in the truck as well. Even though these aren't like, you know, super plush leather seats, they're still comfortable, they're supportive, they get the job done. And you know, that's pretty much all you need. Now I do want to comment on the 10-speed after we get a little acceleration, because this is something that I think is pretty important. And of course we got so much traffic here. I guess you guys can enjoy the look of the digital stuff. We'll actually pop it into the sport mode for the acceleration. So I guess there being traffic helped us out, because I almost forgot to do the sport mode before we did the acceleration. So now we are winning on all fronts. So let's get up and move. And oh, this person's pulling in front. Okay. I love the animation. Yeah, so 10-speed is a huge improvement. You guys know that with certain packages, they'll still pair the 8-speed with the 5.3. Now, I don't know if they're gonna do that still for the newer version, but what I can tell you is this RST has a 10-speed and it's got the 5.3. And the 10-speed's so good because it's super smooth from a shift perspective. And on top of being super smooth from a shift perspective, it actually will help it get a little bit better fuel economy, because it's not gonna be doing crazy gear searching or anything like that. Love the animation on the gauge cluster. It's just cool looking. See how the brakes are good too. Oh, it gives you, that's so cool. So on the gauge cluster, it tells you your distance from the person in front of you. So like you can see distance greater than 3 seconds. And then 2.6, 2.7. That is so cool. So you guys know, if safe falling distance, you're supposed to be like 2 seconds, right? And so this kind of will just be like a constant reminder, like, hey, you're too close. Stop being so close to that person. That's cool. Yeah, so there's a lot of cool new tech here with the Silverado. So yeah, summing things up. Exterior wise, they changed a few things, but not a whole lot. I never really like had any complaints about Silverado styling. I know some people did, but like it grew on me over time. From an interior perspective, they updated a lot of stuff, and this interior feels and looks a lot more premium than before, which is a big plus. It's got really cool tech now. This drives great, and with the 10-speed automatic, there's just a lot to love with this. And so I guess to fully sum things up, also random shirtless dude. Like what? So I guess to fully sum things up here with the Silverado, here's what I'd have to say. Ford people, Ram people, probably want to give this a look, because guess what? You can get a 6.2 liter naturally aspirated V8 10-speed automatic. And this isn't even the nicest version of the truck. And this interior is a whole lot nicer than before. And so imagine like leather interior. And I mean, again, I'll review the LTZ and the High Country and the ZR2. I did a walk around the ZR2 at the Chicago Auto Show. But the point that I'm trying to make is this might end up being the best truck on the market, because you can still get a crazy big V8. And, you know, the weak point of the Silverado, the weak point that a lot of people talked about was the interior. And I think after seeing this, they fixed it. That's gonna sum things up for a video on this 2022 Chevy Silverado 1500 RST. Again, a huge shout out and thank you to the Large Miller Chevy here in Provo for giving me some time with the truck. Check out the inventory in the description down below. I'll see all of you in the next video.